All right, we are live.
Yeah, we are.
We're currently missing Eric at the moment because he's been temporarily blinded because Asuka decided to shoot green mist in his face.
I thought it was Fuji Sock.
Well, I
Or
also
Red,
thought
or
I,
whatever
I
Fuji
also heard it
said.
was Alistair Black spitting black mist into his eye.
Oh, damn it, damn it. I heard someone threw a fireball at his eye. He
so
got Keith Lee. He opened a book and was like, why does this book have fire? Why is it flammable?
I knew these variations of the thumbnail may anger you.
Yeah, and I came onto this show really angry, and none of this makes me happy at all.
How would
I
how would how about if I told you that this wasn't the thumbnail?
What? I've been tricked. I've been hoodwinked. I've
How
been
about
bamboozled. You done
how
pulled the
about
wool over my eye. Am I blind? And then now you're gonna show me I can finally see? Don't.
how about I made the running joke of during my Thirst Trapper Jones run in the mid card mess a thumbnail?
Oh.
Oh.
He's going at the willow.
I mean,
Well,
I've done it,
who thinks is dark meat?
and I feel like I've got a template for anything now, Marcus. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, man, soldier girl. Don't care how many kids you got. Gunther will be the daddy.
Did she just finish off Draco Anthony's gimmick?
I feel
That
like
is his.
Gunther. Oh, go ahead.
Lacey Evans' whole gimmick is Draco Anthony right now.
No, like fuck. Damn, white women keep stealing black people's gimmicks. But I feel like Gunther's the ultimate stepdad. Like fuck, my
Yeah.
mom got a man, and it's him. Why him? He's an asshole. Has no personality. Just sits in the kitchen, read the paper. Who reads the paper anymore?
And then of course
He with those chops.
we've got the betrayal.
I can't believe he attacked Chester the Cheeto on live television.
He attacked a crash dummy for no reason on TV. It's unacceptable.
Can't believe he attacked this caution sign right down the road. You're going the wrong way.
How dare they super kick a traffic cone?
I have no idea who that is, but he is dead. It's like being a 4-year-old when walking by seeing cones and being like, kicking over. I can see kids in school practicing super kicks on these cones and saying, "Take that, Nakamura."
And we'll be back right after this.
He looked like he wasn't having a good time watching this show, or he was mesmerized that we got control of the tribe. That's super good. I want to be. I want to get control of all the TV stations, and no one knows how.
Welcome everyone to the Sharpshooters. Welcome everyone to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I'm Lord Manny Hayes. He is
Marcus, the grand finale, and the number one member of the Fuck Willie Yuta fan club.
and
Yes.
I believe Eric will be joining us shortly. He is just coming back from his doctor's appointment. So you've got us temporarily.
Yeah. Eric is doing what me and Manny had already been testing, and that was to see if we were bots put in by Vince McMahon to talk shit about AEW. And Manny, as I say to you, Domo Relo Origato, Mr. Roboto.
Say it properly. Domo Origato, Mr. Roboto. Domo
Oh, see,
Origato, Mr. Roboto.
why is that song? Why is that a thing? Why did that happen? Who asked for that? Who was in
Was
the
it the
studio?
80s or was that the 90s?
You have to be on some mad cocaine to come up with that song. And then you have to be on mad cocaine to say that's a hit. Let's put the shit out.
So, a luchador said, now that's my kind of thirst trap. Willow!
Willow Nightingale. Big week. This Ring of Honor AEW merger is going well for everybody.
And the gentleman that joined us on the WrestleMania night 2, J.K. Schnuss, says, good morning/evening. The American Blue Blood would love to wish you all a glorious fuck the Hulk Hogan Day.
Hogan. Man, I didn't even know it was fuck Hulk Hogan Day. But you know what? Every day it's fuck Hulk Hogan Day. And you know what? Whenever I get my t-shirt printing machine, we'll come up with fuck Hulk Hogan shirts and sell them in the opposite color of the red and yellow.
Speaking of t-shirts,
my Hogan brother, but it'd be well worth it.
Rikishi is selling bootleg Bloodline merch.
Is he using their baby pictures and shit?
He's got the Bloodline. He's got him. I think Alpha and Seeker. Not The Rock at all.
No, he's just into the Bloodline. It's too deep.
So yeah, Eric had a lot of topics that he wanted to cover today, but he hasn't sent us anything over. So
yeah, he wants us to warm the crowd up first before he shows up. We're the opening act for his amazing routine. I'm assuming. What do you want to start with? The Rampage or the SmackDown? I say Rampage because I'm sure Eric didn't watch it.
He must have watched it.
I know he didn't. I feel it in my soul. It's under my toenail somewhere that I know he didn't watch it.
The problem here is I didn't take any notes because Saturday is normally the day I phone it in.
Or we can go the safe route and talk about this thing that nobody wants to talk about because everybody claims to be a real wrestling fan until you bring up NXT UK.
Nah. Marcus, you need stuff to talk about on ETE.
There's plenty of stuff in the wrestling world. ETE can talk about. We could talk about that match, or we could talk about what the hell's going on in MLW with La Parka's attacking Jacob Fatu.
Oh yeah, okay.
Not gonna be covered in this story, but what the holy fuck is that?
Let's stall a little bit for time then. Let's talk about the match we just watched whilst we were waiting for Eric. So we watched this week's NXT UK. We watched Ilya Dragunov versus Diamond Mine's own Roderick Strong.
In a big money match.
I mean, this is match of the week, and no one's gonna see it.
No. Again, people are gonna be like, "Oh, Willie Yuta and John Moxley, they did that, did this," or fuck else. I don't know what else happened this week that even compared, or Gunther Breaker or something like that. Or,
that Gunther Breaker is not even close.
Tables and no one knows what the rules are.
Nothing comes close to what we just watched. If you're live with us in the chat, make sure at some point today or across this weekend, make sure you check out this week's episode of NXT UK because it was very much like the Walter Ilya Dragunov matches you've seen in the past, only a bit more agile. Walter was agile for a big guy, but if you add the agility of Roderick Strong and then the all-round technical ability of both of these men,
yeah,
and then throw in hard punches, chops, and using all forms of your anatomy to hurt someone.
Yeah, and the thing is, it seemed like an even matchup in which they both had the similar moveset and they were countering each other. There's a lot of good counters, and it just looks like every Dragunov match just feels like the biggest fight I've ever seen in my life that no one's breaking up. It was like, stop these two guys before they kill each other.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. They were going out there to kill each other.
Yeah, fantastic. Spoiler: it was amazing. And
Yeah,
sadly,
100%.
it's the only wrestler I will not accept Vince McMahon changes his name. That would be the one. That would be my line right there. Everybody else can be who they are. But if you change Roderick Strong's name, a man I've known for probably over 20 years as Roderick Strong, as one of the best wrestlers in the world with no personality. He basically a modern day Dean Malenko. Yeah, that's where we're at with that.
And then
Damn.
what happened at MLW? That was mad.
Yeah, the Parker sure beat up Jacob Fatu, another member of the Bloodline, was murdered. Roman, you need to go down there. A shoot attack. I wouldn't even call it a fight because they just attacked them, and it got real physical, and they ended up firing all of the Parkers because of this. And this is what they may say on the indies is some carny shit. This was some carny ass shit. I've never heard of anything like this.
They also said what the other phrase they use: going into business for yourself.
Yeah. Oof. That's never a good sign. That's never a good sign. Yeah, they went to business for themselves. Oh my God. Yeah, it's a tragedy. Why? They went to business for themselves. Ooh. Normally in the real world, that sounds like a good thing. Oh yeah. I quit my job and I went to business for myself. Oh, that's good. Not in the wrestling world. For myself. Ooh, who'd kill? Jesus.
Yeah, that whole thing just sounded like a bad idea to get go.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much news going on that's so much like, what the hell? The conclusion to MSK, or some of it's still pending because Wesley is still floating out there somewhere.
So they've dropped the titles now. It was announced yesterday that they dropped the NXT titles.
Yeah.
Which unfortunate, but now Wesley is just left in limbo. Where the hell do you go with him?
Yeah. So I don't know what they plan on doing right now. I don't know what's the future for Nash Carter. Does he just go back to Impact, or you take that heat and say, "Nah, man, we're gonna stand by this man and say he's innocent," similar to the way other people say other situations, or do you say, "Nah, we can't fuck with that. The heat's too on, and it look bad in our company if we sign you for whether you did the abuse or the Hitler thing, whatever the case may be." And then the tag team titles, I don't know. I guess it's going to be a tournament on NXT. I don't know who's going to announce it now that Regal's, Blackpool and Fight Clubbing, I guess.
I mean, they announced a Dusty Cup without anyone there. A graphic just showed up one day, and then it was just like, okay, that's happening, I guess. But it only seems fitting. It only seems right that who's left? It's just Jacket Time, Pretty Deadly now, the Creed Boys.
Yep. Legardo.
And GYV.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. They're not in a bad state of tag team division. And your boy, Jensen and Briggs.
That's not my boys. That's Eric's boys. He loves them. He loves him some smoking guns.
And you got Malik and Idris. But here's my suggestion, Manny. The Bloodline on SmackDown this week announced that they're going for the Raw Gold. What's stopping them? What is stopping them from taking the NXT Gold? And if they are going for all the gold, it's time to bring in little bro Uso, and they can get all the gold. They can have it all.
How cool would it be, actually thinking about it now, if young Uso won the North American title with the help of the Usos, and then you get the full Bloodline picture on Friday on SmackDown?
What a thumbnail that would be. And what a controversy. I can see the wrestling fan base being upset, but also going like, this may go down as one of the best factions of all time, since they are the best faction of all time anyway. Or one of the best. Don't want to overstep. But, man, what a crazy world. And we've stalled and talked about the entire week of wrestling. Benny, I'm Marcus the Grand Finale. That's Lord Manny Hayes. We see you guys next week.
And that was the shoot.
Maybe we just start playing clips of the shoot until Eric get here and be like Tony. Because there's so much to talk about, whether it's Tony, his bot scandal, Botgate,
I don't even want to give that much. I don't even want to give that much time of day.
You have to.
It seems so stupid.
Manny, no, you're watching Dark Side of the Ring as it happens right now. That's what's going on. I see the clip right now on Dark Side of the Ring. Chris Jericho going.
Well, look who it is.
Tony Khan said, "Oh, how it is?
It's
how is it?
It's the blind black buck."
Wait, are you wearing a General Insurance shirt? And I don't think we can hear you. Oh no, that's Cameron Grimes.
Why are you muted?
Yeah, you're muted. We can't hear a word you're saying. Turn your mic on. He can't even hear us, probably.
I'm legally blind.
Yeah, he's talking his talk. Talk your talk, Eric. Talk your talk.
I'm gonna kiss that microphone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's gone. He dropped out. He dropped out. Manny, at some point in the show, I think I'm going to go into business for myself. He's like, oh shit.
How does that happen on a podcast show?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to the other room and then I just attack.
Are you gonna be Bret Hart when he got screwed and just be like,
Yeah. Where we can talk about Ronald McDonald attacking Colonel Sanders. I don't know if you saw that clip that Jamal sent us. I don't know what's going on with Japanese Ronald McDonald, but that dude has the craziest clips in all of wrestling.
Hear me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound a little different, but you know.
I don't know what I sound like because I don't know what I clicked. I can't read shit. I can't see nothing. Nothing.
Oh man, welcome Matt Murdock.
I can't.
It sounds more funnier because he's also wearing glasses at the same time and saying I can't see shit.
You know, the worst part about it is that I wrote so many notes and I can't read any of the notes.
Oh, did you handwrite them?
Well, no, I typed them, but I can't.
Send it to me. I'll host you.
Let Manny McMahon take over the show, and so we could have somebody that can actually read, or so we could go into business for ourselves.
Manny, I know my 2 questions that I wanted to ask and have a discussion on. I also know my opening joke that I was gonna do to start the show off because you know the my secret is out in the open now based on Tony Khan's investigation. He knows that I've been paid to be a bot, and I don't know how I feel about that. You know,
I knew it. There was always something that reminded me of Vicky from Small Wonders about you.
You know, like
that's an old reference that I think that
no one else has got.
You know, because Margot.
No.
Okay. It's a small wonder. I mean, like the whole his allegations, his statement is just that man is delusional. That man is crazy.
Hey, just because you paranoid doesn't mean that they're not out to get you. I'm just saying.
But
he could be right. There could be some bots out there
but
that are negative toward AEW. It's not beneath WWE to do such a thing.
Quite.
It is
yes.
not.
I mean, it's possibly true, but my thing is, are you so egotistical that you had to pay somebody to do an investigation to confirm that? Like, do you need to have that much positive energy if someone's saying that your product is perfect all the time that you had to think that it just makes no sense to me. That is where you decided to put your money in. But when you're a billionaire, I guess you do stupid shit.
No, the problem with this is he hasn't even got it confirmed yet. He's just jumping to a conclusion because he hasn't even got the results back from his investigation. So, like, imagine jumping to conclusions like, "I'm not the father."
Yeah,
and then 2 weeks later, they tell you are.
like I have an independent study. I don't know how independent it is because you hired them, and like, you know, depending on how much you paid, they'll be willing to say whatever. But like, the thing is, the product is not perfect. It's not perfect. It's good enough, especially if you're a wrestling fan. But if you're not a hardcore wrestling fan, AEW does so many things that you just do not understand if you're not into the wrestling culture. And maybe that's the way that they want.
I just think it's that.
I just realized that I'm throwing up comments and Eric can't read them.
Can't read shit, man.
All right, hold on. Let me read these out loud.
My poppy was blind, man.
My poppy is blind. One, JK Smush, TK. One, I got Wes thanked me for my Small Wonders reference in 2022, which might be the most random reference I've ever made in my life, but whatever. Also, J.K. Smush thought that TK Urban Meyer brought a culture change to Jacksonville for good. That man is on some bad cocaine and has bad judgment.
He bought some of that Ohio cocaine from Ohio State, man. You know, the same stuff that Dawkins probably used when he thought his haircut was a good idea to look like a young Charles Barkley, as the lordship says.
Oh, I thought you were about to steal my joke.
I was not going to steal your joke, Manny. I give credit where credit is due, man. I'm not that type of man.
This isn't Manny was about to sue and go for but the whole thing about this, I think the WWE does have bots and stuff out there that does put it out there. It would be a business strategy in the internet age of attacking people. However, if this is happening and AEW is doing the same thing, I believe WWE would not even acknowledge it. I would go on TV, internet, Twitter, wherever he went and said these things and be like, they're trying to get me, man. They're trying to get me. Who cares? You have your product. Stay in your own lane. You have, and you can argue, probably the best collection of wrestlers in the world, especially with your deal with New Japan and the potential of Tanahashi and Okada coming over. You have all of this going for you, and yet you're concerned about people saying, hey, man, this sucked.
Marcus, I need you to calm down, because every time you get agitated and you bump the table, we get feedback. And we haven't had Mr. Feedback on the show in a long time.
I haven't touched the table. My table's at a distance.
I don't know, but that sound is normally consistent with you. But who knows? But Mark, let me ask you this question. So I read a little bit about the New Japan deal. I thought it was just that they were going to be streaming Dynamite and Rampage on New Japan World. And I don't know any more of the details, but are they going to have an in-talent working agreement also?
I believe so.
I don't know.
Tanahashi said he wants to work with CM Punk and Bryan Danielson.
Marcus, I want to work with Steven Spielberg, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Did you really?
No, that was just the first thing
that popped
in my head.
I can't look at you while doing the show, because you look like fucking Stevie Wonder at this moment.
Betty, guess what?
I can't look
Betty. I can't
love you.
I can't look at me either. I don't know what I don't know. I can't see shit.
Well, my Sherry Moore, you look just like Stevie if you decide to cut all that nasty shit on his hair off.
But
Stevie.
But okay, so I since you brought up the whole New Japan deal, Manny, I'll go to you first because Marcus already spoke. Like, I think it's a good idea, but at the same time, they have so much. Their roster is bloated. We have the Ring of Honor, we have the AEW roster. Now you're gonna try to incorporate some New Japan people in there. Isn't that just a little bit too much to try to do? You're just doing too much, right?
They are doing too much, but like at some point they need to make cuts. Because you're just removing opportunity for other people. Like, there's so much people that, what's his name? Kip Sabian sitting in the front row with a box on his head. People.
Well, Manny, this has been going on for like a year.
But see, I think my issue that I take with it is that TK is doing something that I think is a huge mistake, and that's because cocaine might be a great job.
That always sounds like a bad mistake until not while you're doing it, apparently. But when you look back at your life, you realize, fuck, I was doing way too much plus cocaine.
Well, I was gonna say the thing is that he's doing something that is more disloyal than a prostitute. He's catering to wrestling fans, and wrestling fans are fickle. As Bryan Daniels says, they are fickle. At 1 minute, they will love you, and the next minute, that check from the bot machine kicks in, and they'll hate everything that you'll do. And that's my issue that I have with AEW. It's like they continue to bring in outside influences, but they don't really explain it to me. Like, for example, on the show, Wheeler Yuta is a Ring of Honor champion. What the fuck is Ring of Honor? If I know what it is because I'm into the wrestling, but they haven't given me any footage of what Ring of Honor has done. And like, this guy is just walking around with another belt. And I'm just saying, like, you know, a little bit of explanation would work well for me personally to explain. Huh? No.
Did they show a clip on Dynamite?
Well, they didn't
show the highlights.
They didn't show a clip of our FTR and the Briscoes because the Briscoes can't be on that network apparently.
And they might be going to Impact, according, because I guess that's the only place that I would accept them at this point. I don't understand where we're at.
J.K. Smith said, Eric is blind and a hair. He is cold stink meaner.
It's a Boondocks reference, Eric. It's a Boondocks reference.
I can't read shit. So
Eric, I think we're getting feedback from you.
for me,
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing anything.
okay, let me see something.
Oh, but I do have my fan on for a change.
No, but I think every time Eric
100,000 degrees here.
Every time Eric speaks into his mic, there's like a sound of wind coming out.
I'm going to mute myself and
Yeah, it stopped.
oh, I hear the sound now, but I can't fix my settings because I can't see shit.
Oh. Why would you go to the eye doctor right now? Why not after the show?
Because this is the first appointment they had available. Should I go back out and come back in?
Yeah, sorry, yo.
Wait, this is settings.
I don't really hear it.
I think this is the settings. Hold on, let me go down.
The question is, do the people in the chat hear it? Because I don't hear it.
I hear it.
Is that better, Manny?
You
No,
sound
I can
higher.
still hear it. It sounds like a dryer.
Oh, that could be me. That could be me. Hold on.
Hey, stop! I don't hear
Yeah,
it now.
stop.
So all this time, you guys were blaming the blind man. Damn.
Yeah, because I my room is next to the washing machine and the dryer's on.
Luchadog said, "Why is Eric wearing the Drip Lord Manny sunglasses?"
Yeah, you should have came in.
Thing is, he'll miss his chair. He'll miss the chair if he did that because he can't see.
Marcus, you don't understand how hard it was getting upstairs, putting the meshes open to open up this browser. Like I did everything by feel, and I'm like, it's pretty impressive how much I know how to do this. But at the same time, the audio, I had no idea the audio was messed up. Yes, I'm pretty sure I can't see you. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. You know, F all to you guys.
Let me tell you, if I was an eye doctor, that is a move I would do every time I would fuck up somebody's eyes.
He actually did it a couple times like that. He was like, "Does that make any difference?" I was like, "I don't know. I can't see it," because he had concerns, so he needed to dilate my eyes. So another thing that you guys, I wanted to talk about with you guys, and I did.
With the TK on drugs and bots.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have something else you wanted to add.
And working with New Japan. No, I was just gonna add that. Yeah, he is doing too much. Let's just focus on the talent. Let's focus on the talent you have already and give them meaningful storylines instead of being like, we're bringing in everybody. Stop bringing in people. Just stop. Okay,
well, Mark, that's a great segue.
I'm gonna build a wall to stop people from coming to AEW.
Well, Marcus, that's a great segue that you put in, because another thing that I wanted to talk about was a episode of The Shoot that I did where I talked about, are we stuck in the past? And I wanted to have this conversation with you and Manny, because I felt watching this week of Dynamite and Raw and everything, I was like, man, and even WrestleMania, we are still stuck on these old stars, and no one wants to give any new stars any opportunity, because like Dynamite was pretty much an old, like you could call it a Hall of Fame go home show for like all the tag matches and stuff that they did. And then you have Edge and stuff. Like I would say that SmackDown was the one show where they tried to debut some stuff. My boy Ludwig is out there, you know, doing it.
Why do you support that? Why would you support that name? We'll get into that later, but don't.
There's no T in that name. Why are you calling him Ludwig?
Ludwig.
You make it sound like he from Nutbush.
Hey, whatever. But I can tell you why I support that name when we get there. But Manny, do you think that there's just too many old superstars, or do you think the fact that, as Randy said, a pro wrestler's prime is in their 40s, and just because we've seen someone for 20 years, that doesn't mean that their time is up being in the limelight?
I mean, the people's prime are in the 40s now, and the more successful you are, the longer you're going to be around. So there's that. But then the nostalgia factor plays in with those that haven't been around for a long time. And so like when you do see Steve Austin, it's like, oh shit, it's Steve Austin. But what you hope when you see Steve Austin is like he does what he does at WrestleMania, and you don't see him again.
Yeah.
You don't want that thing where you linger around. Like I would say Sting.
Okay.
Sting's lingering around and like not really doing anything. No. But you're like, Sting is there. He's doing stuff, but like, what value? what value is he really adding other than because like when we talk about like the shit Tully was doing with FTR, that was fun. That was like, oh shit, it's just Tully being Tully. But like he was more of a, he wasn't actually making the show about him.
Yeah, and I hear what
doing Sting like that. Sting is doing what Sting has done, and you know what? He's giving a new generation a look at Sting.
Yeah, but you can argue the fact that being associated with Sting has helped Darby Allin back a little bit because he's been stuck in these storylines with Sting and all his multiple tag matches with all these people he keep helping out. I mean, like even with the Hardys, like I like the Hardys, but the Hardys not only are being featured every week on Dynamite, but they're really being put in matches where you might not have the Hardys around. Like, I don't know how many more tables Jeff has to go through. And Matt doesn't look like he can do anything anymore. I'm just like, you're really wasting what you can use the value of the Hardys with these throwaway matches on Dynamite. What do you say? Yeah, what about you, Marcus?
Well, my whole thing is, with these veterans that you're saying are with too much of nostalgia, I'm okay. I agree with you to an extent, but as devil advocate for some of these guys who you say have been around for 20 years and stuff, they haven't been on a big stage like AEW in a while, or even WWE. A lot of them were on the indies. A lot of them people didn't see on national TV. Now they're getting full exposure. Sting, for the most part, you may say Sting's been lingering around. No one watched that Impact shit. I mean, 2 million people did at one point, but there was a while when Sting was not on TV.
Yeah, 1 million more were watching that than like the current product now.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? But it's a different landscape now, at which that means 2 million people used to be nobody were watching you at some point.
So like you're okay with another resurgence of a Jay Lethal or something of that nature, like because we're getting another reincarnation of Jay Lethal.
Yeah, because Jay Lethal, yes, who's not in his 40s yet. He's like 33, 35. He started at 19, similar to like Randy Orton and shit. He's been in Ring of Honor and and for most of his career and a little bit of Impact. The exposure isn't there, and so resurgence, like get some of this. Even Samoa Joe and your AJ Styles, who was wrestling at TNA and in Japan, he has his lectures career. In the mainstream eye, which is the double E, he's only been around 6 or 7 years and stuff like that. So I don't have a problem with using old talent. I just think if the old talent becomes the focal point of the show, it may become a problem. On AEW, I feel like they do actually mix it pretty good with the old and the new. I don't feel like I feel like they're overdoing it with the Hardys for one, but I feel like in Sting's case, in your Dustin Rhodes case, they're just on there a little bit. They're not on there that much.
As long as you're not the focus and you're giving back, you're actually putting someone over or trying to get someone over and expose them to a bigger audience using your clout. Then it's not that big of a deal. But if it's like, for instance, if that Steve Austin Kevin Owens thing went on for like 6 months, you're like, no.
Oh yeah, I've been sick of it.
Yeah, we would have been sick of it.
Like Goldberg. Now that's overstaying. You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's what overstaying.
But could it be a little bit of bias because you've never liked Goldberg? Like, because I think
I'm a Goldberg guy.
But Eric, there's
a different person on this planet that likes Goldberg. But I know it's diminishing returns.
No, there's a difference though. With Goldberg, that you're actively putting a title on him, so he's sticking around a little bit longer than expected,
and becomes the focal point.
And then he becomes the focal point of the show, but by being the champion.
But your betters like Bryan Danielson, William Regal, and Mox they're doing their best to try to get over William Yuta. Jericho is in that in between stage in which he's trying to get himself over more than he's trying to get his team over. By even I don't know where he fits into all this. In which at the beginning of this Jericho run in AEW, he was more likable as a straight up heel with the inner circle, but then as things progressed, it just there were diminishing returns as he fell out of shape and having terrible matches and stuff. So I just want people to maximize their, as Manny would say, clout.
I'm just going to jump into the comments. Eric, there's also an email today, so I'll read that.
Shit.
I'll read that.
Everything for words.
J.K. Smith said Sting isn't challenging for the main title. Let's Steve live.
But Darby Allin isn't either, and that's my issue.
El Luchador said you said it best last week about Jeff Hardy and that they're trying to get him on television as much as possible for his next drug bust. And then he also follows up with Stang!
Stang! Do you guys think that the reason why, because I mean NXT, I think we can all agree that's where they have some of the freshest faces in professional wrestling.
Now.
Like it's like we haven't really seen. But do you think that NXT suffers because they don't have any of those nostalgic acts showing up on NXT 2.0?
Well, Eric, I know you don't want to believe this. But they've been doing it recently with putting these nostalgia acts on the show. And by nostalgia, I mean AJ Styles is a nostalgia act. Bobby Roode is as old as it comes. And Dolph Ziggler, who everybody thinks he needs to be the next young champion. No, he was the veteran trying to give these people the rub down there.
Yeah, but this week they didn't have any of those old dogs on there.
That's the way you use them, in which you try to give exposures to your Braun Breakers or Grayson Wallers, or in AEW's case, when you have CM Punk wrestling some of the younger talent on their show, trying to get these guys over. Because he also counts.
CM Punk wasn't on the show this week.
No,
I guess him and Jeff Hardy can't work the same night.
He has to wait till Adam Cole and the Adams go through another Texas death match.
Don't start me on them. I could care less about those two guys. But at this point, that was all I had. So you have to turn over to Manny or Marcus.
Adam and Eve.
I turn over to Manny or Marcus to discuss the SmackDown and Rampage. Because I can't see anything. Fuck you, Manny. I see your eyes that got darker. I see it.
I don't want to feel you. I don't want you to feel left out. So
Manny, I didn't see.
The Drip Lord will help you out. I don't have any actual notes for what happened on SmackDown.
Well, I can tell you what happened on SmackDown. Wait, do we want to start with SmackDown or Rampage? I disagree with you. I disagree with you, Marcus. I feel like SmackDown accomplished a lot more than what Monday Night Raw did. Because I think
but anything could have done that, Eric.
That is also true. That is also true.
It was more accomplished than what Monday Night Raw was. Before this show happened, Eric, I took a shit. Okay? No. I accomplished more on that toilet than Monday Night Raw did in 3 hours. And that's 20 minutes time.
So Marcus, calm down. Calm down.
Blind man,
I just want to point out that I felt that this is where they tried to debut old and some new faces. Like they tried to, it felt like a season premiere. As Xavier Woods put it so eloquently, it's a new, the rest of WrestleMania marks the end of the season. We have fresh records now. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's what we're doing.
So I believe that was loser talk coming from Kofi Kingston.
That was loser talk right there. But I think my favorite thing that took place on SmackDown is Roman Reigns being a king who is just not satisfied.
Sorry. I didn't mean that.
There's too many Eric jokes going on in the chat.
I can't read none of them.
Eric looks like he's in a BB King tribute band. Eric looks like he's tapping around to get to the buffer.
Okay.
Anyway, pretty much Roman was in God mode. I love that Roman looked at the situation. I got 2 belts, but my cousins only got 1 set of belts. Guess what? I want you to go to Monday Night Raw, and I want you to claim these titles. And I was like, this fool just put a hit out on national TV. I saw some words that look like harmonica.
Yeah, all Eric needs is a harmonica right now. Eric, I'm going to disagree with you on the SmackDown thing, and I don't know what you said. I was too busy laughing at the chat. But you were saying he didn't put the titles on the Usos. Me and Manny had a quick discussion about Solo, them going after NXT titles next, and it was taking over, and Solo getting the North American title or something like that. We had a full discussion earlier, but I think SmackDown they need to find something better and find a new wrestler to focus on. Roman Reigns is fine as champion. Usos are fine as tag team champions. But they had that was the entire show, and that was a 10-minute segment. That was it. There was nothing on the show. You start off with Ronda and Charlotte, who God forbid Ronda tried to do anything to sell a match. Didn't happen. It was just Charlotte calling her a bitch repeatedly, apparently.
Well, you should never put a microphone in front of Ronda Rousey. It's simple as that. She does
well,
not.
They tried to solve this by giving her freckles. I can't remember her name. Skips me right now.
Taylor Braxton.
There we go.
Yeah, but no, but like the thing
Stop
is,
demeaning her and calling her freckles, man.
No,
I like her freckles.
Ronda just sounds like someone who's just fed up and I want to speak to your manager. That's what she sounds like. I mean, maybe we can contact MVP so he can turn on Omos and go manage Ronda Rousey. I'm just saying she needs a mouthpiece because it just doesn't work and I don't need it. Bring me back Bayley, bring me back Asuka, give me anybody but Ronda in this situation. But I mean, maybe they had to put her on TV just to, to push away that rumor that she stormed off being upset after the show.
Yeah, fuck all that.
No, allegedly it's long-term booking with that story. So it's just like, who needs this?
Yeah. So my whole thing with the Ronda Charlotte thing is trash. I wish Charlotte could move on to the many other people like Raquel Rodriguez.
You damn right.
Why did we change that name? Why?
Because
his fingers on
that's her real name.
Because we compare with Giant Gonzalez.
No, because Raquel Gonzalez is her real name. Margaret, it's all about money. That's what WWE does. Like, you have to realize a lot of these people who are hired that are being called up now, they were before the new model of NXT, the 2.0 model, where they give you a character name that can stick with you. That's why Barthel is now Ludwig.
But Marcel Barthel was a name given to him by WWE.
You know what? Maybe Ludwig.
That was the most random one. So it's like, let's make him sound more German than he actually is.
Ludwig Kaiser sounds. I don't know why he had a last name. I would have been fine with Ludwig.
He should have been the Kaiser. The Kaiser would have sounded more.
Kaiser is dope. I don't know why. Maybe I'm thinking of Permanente or so say. But I've always liked the name Kaiser. If he was just Kaiser, which I believe they will drop his first name at some point, just know him as Kaiser.
I will say he's gonna drop one of the names. It's gonna be the first or it's gonna be the last. I'm not sure which one, but I like Ludwig. Ludwig has always been one of my favorite Koopa kids. I'm just saying I have a loyalty to this.
You make it sound like you're a charity. Yeah. You make it sound like you're a charity case too, and you've been donating to the Cooper family for years.
I have.
The Cooper kid.
You didn't know?
Was my favorite. He had so much potential. He could read.
He had the blue hair, man. He looked like a little Beethoven. Come on.
What the Cooper kids? I
can tell you this though, and I know I'm gonna be alone on this island. I do not like In Shape Walter. I miss Dad bod kicking people's ass.
This is Stepdaddy Walter.
So I said I don't like the fact that I can see his neck more easily now, and I feel like I need to attack it.
I like In Shape Walter.
Manny, can I tell you something? I know exactly what you mean because every time I see my neck now, I'm like, what the fuck is this here for? I ain't never seen my neck.
Sorry.
It's like I need to go out to the sun that matches the color.
I feel like, Eric, when people who be like, oh man, I can see your neck now, they're like, you're probably thinking, damn, they can throat punch me any moment now.
They can, man. Like someone can now
really
choke me. Yeah. Well, Marcus, see, me seeing my neck made me start thinking stupid shit like I could wear a turtleneck. I quickly nixed that idea when I sent them some bitches back.
But I don't think the losing weight actually hurts Walter. I think he looks in amazing shape and he still wrestles the same. He's still the same to be.
But for me, it was more
and he's
entertaining.
Now.
Yeah, but it was more entertaining seeing a dad bod dude whooping ass. It's pretty much everything that I give shit to Adam Cole about was what I enjoyed about Walter. But it's okay.
Gunther has done what Keith Lee couldn't do when they told Keith Lee to come up to the main roster. Instead of losing weight, Keith Lee put on more weight.
Yeah, so he can go through the wall. What did you guys think about Lacey Evans? We're getting the story of Lacey Evans again, and I was like, I don't need this in my life.
She stole what's his name's gimmick? Draco Anthony on 2.0.
Damn white women.
But Betty, this is such an that looks so inappropriate.
That looks like porn.
The little bit that I can see. No, Manny, why you have to put that up there? That puts me in a bad place right there when I see that person right there.
Oh, Manny, you got all the graphics everywhere now.
Manny can't see either.
Okay, before
You try producing the show.
yeah, before we go into Lacey Evans and getting her backstory, I like that they're changing up. Maybe she's not the
Sassy Southern Belle.
the sassy Southern Belle anymore, but you know what? She
Yeah,
does
nasty.
have a good story of becoming a Marine, a female Marine, being a mother, and all that. She has a good story.
I think they're going G.I. Jane.
Yeah, they coming. I think she has a good story to come back on. And you know what? The sassy Southern Belle can only go so far, and it was terrible. And you have bad taste about because you remember the Seth Becky, Baron Corbin feud with the sassy Southern Belle. It didn't really go anywhere.
Oh,
So
come on! I miss her calling Peyton Royce Pepe.
But the thing about it though, they need a face. They need a face. They need a female face for Charlotte. A veteran will get the crowd over because you heard some cheers from the crowd. So, I mean, and she could talk 10 times better than Ronda Rousey. 10 times better.
And then the main thing I had a problem with the SmackDown though
is that Happy Corbin and Madcap broke up?
No.
Oh.
I'm okay with progressing storylines. I am not progressing. I am not okay with living in the past of WrestleMania for one full week, WWE. You've been showing me the same highlights, motherfucking highlights of the same shit over and over, and you're taking hours and hours out of my life for watching reruns, basically, and a repeat, and I did not approve to that, and that's why I cannot give any WWE show a thumbs up this week. Other than NXT 2.0, that seems to be the only one to be like, let's move on. Or the SmackDown.
No, they showed standard deliver stuff.
Yeah, but it wasn't as long.
Hey, you know what, Marcus? I'm going to give them
Let's go to this.
I'm going to give them.
I'm
going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They had to produce a lot of television for the WrestleMania weekend, and if you want to piggyback on what you did, go for it. I just want to say on Monday night, I better not get no more packages about what took place at WrestleMania. I don't need that anymore. But I mean, I thought they did. Mark, I mean, I thought you would be excited that Nakamura is trying to cash in his title shot that he's entitled to.
I was upset that Nakamura lost all his sponsorships once Boogs went down. As soon as a white man go down, they take away a Japanese man's sponsorships. That man had it all.
Marcus,
he had it all.
Because remember, Boogs was his spokesman, man. He did all the talking.
No, but the funny thing was when me and Marcus saw that at WrestleMania, we both were like, "This is basically me and Marcus selling out because we do the exact same."
Yeah, that's right.
I have no morals.
Yeah, even by Tony accusing us of being bots, we are not bots, by the way. But I wouldn't put it beneath myself to become one.
Wow.
How much you paid? How much? What?
How much you gave? Fuck all that shit on AEW. I don't care how good Bryan Danielson match was.
He was just like Tony the Tiger. When I can't mess up details,
he should just a Cheeto.
Yeah, that too.
Or a cone that you and your friend decide to kick over. That's what that looked like. I'm excited for Roman and Nakamura if Nakamura tries and cares, or if WWE let him be Nakamura, or whatever happens with that. If we can get a flashback, if he can be great, one more time with Roman.
We just need
Sami Zayn or
we need January. We need January Nakamura, not the rest of the year Nakamura.
Even though Butch lost, I still enjoyed Butch being Butch. I mean, he attacked Ridge and he attacked Sheamus, which was funny to me.
I want to point out that pinfall was rigged because the shoulders weren't even down and the count was at 2.
But let's just point out, Matt McAfee with the backwoods comment was probably the best thing that he has. Like, it's a roll up. It's the backwoods. And Xavier's running with it.
I would die laughing if they really try to put this finish over as the unbreakable roll up. The backwoods.
It's the ultimate TV finish.
I mean, it has more victories than vacant.
It does. More pinfalls. 24/7 title. But I hope Nakamura and Roman can tear the house down. But whatever. SmackDown was so meh. My perfect show would have been a fusion of SmackDown and a Rampage, which would have had a little bit of wrestling and less video packages, or more video packages on the other show. Marcus, I wish we had more.
You got Sable stuck in a closet somewhere? Because I keep hearing the Sable roar in the background. I don't know what that is.
It's inspiring, okay? I'm inspired by Sable matches. These damn kids. Speaking
Just
of
know, Brock Lesnar catches you. You ain't gonna survive.
You know, Manny, when I saw this week's Rampage, I said Marcus is gonna love this week's of Rampage. It was right up his alley.
Oh, aren't you wrong? Aren't you wrong, Eric?
Okay,
aren't you wrong? You've never been more wrongest in your life.
Wrongest.
Okay.
Or wrong. I knew you were blind, but you had never been as blind. And I'm going to start off. Trent and Bryan Danielson, fine, had a nice match. Whatever.
What? Fine? That was a good match.
It's a good match. The problem with
I'm not gonna, shoot smoke up his ass and be like, this is the greatest match I've ever seen. No, it's all right.
To be fair, nothing compares to what we and Walkers watched before the show.
Yeah. We had Swerve and QT Marshall. Skip.
Marcus, wow.
Not against Swerve. I watched the match. It has nothing to do with Swerve. Everything to do with QT Marshall.
Marcus, but QT Marshall won the Sports Entertainer of the Week award, Marcus.
And I swear to God, that did not need to show up on my TV. And I was like, is this the one video package you're going to show me of what's going on and why people are fighting or who these people are? Because I would have rather got to get an introduction of who's Willow Nightingale and why is she in this tournament than get a Sports Entertainer award given by Chris Jericho to QT Marshall. Which was a 30-second clip that meant nothing to nobody.
The question is, why did Willow Nightingale, who is the far superior performer in the ring, lose the fucking Red Velvet? Like, that pissed me off. I was hot.
Straight out your mama's kitchen.
That shit need to be returned to the kitchen. Because I was like, Willow showed me something. She carried that match. I don't even know who she is. And the fact that they gave it to Red Velvet, I was like, what?
Like a female Kevin Owens in there, just doing moves.
Yeah.
I know. Red Velvet won. I was disappointed by that too. I was like, why her?
Like,
why does she get this push?
Quite frankly,
roster, they keep pushing this Red Velvet. And shout out to legit Layla Hirsch, who legit got hurt.
Hey, shout out to Arn Anderson, who said he doesn't know what his future is going to be with Cody not being in the company anymore, him and Brock, which was like the most hilarious story I've ever read. But like Red Velvet just doesn't do it. Her office looked pretty whack. I thought Willow was probably the far superior athlete in the match, and I don't understand that decision. But I'm a bot, so I'm not. That's why I hate it. So what can I say?
Doc said Willow was robbed and had me thirst trapped. Levi said, "Are you going to say anything about WWE stealing AEW's promo style? They are filming Cody the same way as Dynamite."
They're filming Cody the way Cody wants to be filmed under his contract.
They bought Cody. They bought the Cody that Cody created in AEW. So yeah, they're gonna film him the same way. Like,
I don't care about that.
I mean, like, it's not like winning because Pretty Deadly showed up. I was happy. Damn, they are pretty deadly. First time I saw people in the ring, but they were my.
Before we get to your 2.0, let's finish up on Rampage. Okay. William Yuta, Jon Moxley. Bloodbath of bloodbaths for whatever reason.
Man was dripping. He looked like Muta at one point.
I thought it was Wolfpack Sting versus Jon Moxley. And it was like, oh, this is going on. But I'm going to say, I said this before, and I think I even said it on ETE. William Yuta had a nice match for the pure title. I enjoyed it. But other than that, I just don't like this guy. I don't like his look. I don't like the way he wrestles. I don't like the way he dresses. I don't care about anything William Yuta does. And maybe it's just me being a hater. Maybe I'm just a hater. I'm a piece of shit. Maybe I'm an asshole. But I was watching this match. Maybe I was angry from sleep deprivation or whatever is going on in my life. Just trying to get to the work week. But all this firing up, I do not care about him joining the Blackpool Combat Club. And because I don't like William Yuta. And I wish this was Danny Garcia instead. Maybe that's it.
Manny, do you want me to go or would you like to go first?
I'll go. I enjoyed the main event, but after me and Marcus watched Dragunov and Roderick Strong about 20 minutes before we started the show.
Oh shit, wow.
This match isn't good. Like, this match is fine. This match is serviceable.
No, I wasn't here, Manny, when this match isn't good. I was like, damn, Manny went hard.
Well, so like,
it's not good. It's just, I just didn't care.
My mind was changed. My mind was changed the moment I saw that match on NXT UK. I was just like, this match of the week that no one's gonna watch.
To promote ETE, the other show that Marcus is doing with his co-host Jamal, I'm gonna use a term. I think the color in this match between Yuta and John Moxley, it is what made it seem like it was more intense. I'm not a big bloody kind of guy, but I did like the story going into the match as this man is fighting for initiation into the Blackpool Combat Club, and apparently he got their respect. So I would assume that on Dynamite, since they have the third member, now they're going to do something prominent. I hope it's not feud with the fucking best friends, because I'm tired of people going to stage one of an AEW debut is that I'm going to feud with the best friends. I don't need that.
Stage one is Team Taz. Stage one is Team Taz.
Not anymore.
Stage one is QT Marshall. Stage 2 is Team Taz.
No, stage one is also the Acclaimed now.
Oh, the Acclaimed, and you have to beat them in singles matches.
Yeah, that's stage one. Yeah, you gotta beat them individually. Yes, you're right.
That pisses me off too, because like nothing against Samoa Joe, nothing against Samoa Joe, but like him beating up Max Caster doesn't mean anything to me. I thought Master Caster's rap was cool, but I think they're a fucking tag team. I need them to do tag team matches and be prominent, because guess what, AEW, your tag team champions are the worst tag teams in your company, and you gave me a tag team Dynamite. Sorry.
What did you think of that tables match with the Butcher, the Blade, and the Hardys?
It's a fucking tables match. My whole thing was like, I was like, is this the last time we're gonna see Jeff and Matt again? Like, I was like, it was just so out of the blue. And then you have the whole concept of this, we're still doing Andrade and whatnot, and then here comes Sting and Darby. I'm like, stop it. Like, how long will this storyline go on? Because it's not getting any place, anywhere, anytime soon.
I'm gonna go to Blood and Guts.
But I mean,
but you know what? I will argue and say, even though you may have your faults with Dynamite this week, it was probably the best wrestling show I saw all week.
I thought Rampage was.
I'm either. I think I'm a Dynamite. I thought the crowd was just too strong for Dynamite. It helped me through that show more than the other shows. It's 2.0 in Dynamite here and there.
I think I'm more Rampage. I mean, Dynamite was fine for what it was, but like it's still Dynamite.
Bear in mind. Sorry, Eric. Bear in mind, I did enjoy Dynamite. It was just there's too much Tony Schiavone all over that show, and I don't like Tony Schiavone.
There was too much tag teams for me on that show. It was just too much tagging, and it was like we're gonna put a bunch of tag teams on the show, and we're gonna show you all the different types of tag team matches that we can do.
I'm okay with that. They had elite tag teams going. The main event was fine. The revival
I thought FTR versus the Briscoes was better, and that's just because I'm not a big Young Bucks fan.
You didn't even watch that one.
How do you know what I watched? I watched it, sir. Yeah, because I decided, Manny, you know what? A fighter was lit under my ass, because I was like, you know what? I need to take production and stuff, and I had very good notes. If I wish I could see, but the thing was, when I saw the match between Young Bucks and FTR, I was like, oh, it's a solid match, but is it better than FTR versus the Briscoes? And I did. It doesn't live up, because I can personally say I am not a fan of the Young Bucks style of wrestling. I mean, like, there's no selling involved. It's flippity doos. And this is one they kind of toned it down in the FTR match, but it still is like, once again, one of these teams should be your tag team champion, but yet it's the Jungle Cruise that's your tag team champion, and that bothers
me. Excuse me. Jurassic Express, they're not that movie based on a rock inspired to become a tag team.
And like,
I like that I've started this when no one says the name correctly anymore.
But the worst tag teams, Levi said the Hardys are. No, the worst tag team is Pillman versus Garrison. I hate that team.
Yeah, but then we get a story where they get mad at Julia Hart because she don't want they to lose her ass outside. I be like, and then on Twitter talk about you change. That's as much as I care about Adam Cole.
You're following AEW feuds on Twitter. What's wrong with you?
I mean, that's just as bad as Christian Cage losing. That's bad as Christian losing to Adam Cole and he being upset with the Jungle Cruise. Like, I don't care about Christian. Like, it was a serviceable match, but it's still Christian, and Adam Cole still looks like shit. And I could care less about him and Adam Page.
They had a solid match. But again, like Manny said, after you watch Dragunov and Roderick Strong, there are no such thing as solid match. That is the standard. That is my Dax and CM Punk award.
Because Dragunov retained his title, do you guys think that Fabian Aichner, since he walked out on Imperium, is that he's going to maybe go back to NXT UK and maybe go after Dragunov?
I didn't even think about that. That would be a good move.
Because
what is this?
Man, do you guys pay? Because like you have to agree, like Fabian kind of didn't really, like, he's in Imperium, but he doesn't really fit. And I don't know what his work visa status is, but in that tag match that he had, he proved that he can carry his own weight. And I think him versus Dragunov could be a very good match for NXT UK. It'll give him something else for him to do.
I mean, he's Italian, so I don't know if his work visa status because of Brexit will be allowed over here either.
Oh, the politics of it all. I never considered he was going to NXT UK. I just thought he was just going to be repackaged at 2.0 because I see money in him as being the next Cesaro, as being like, this guy can work with anybody, and he has incredible strength, extremely a super athlete, but his mic skills are probably not there.
Or the thought just came to my head who he may be with next.
Oh, who we got?
The Don of NXT.
Oh, he's Italian!
He's Italian!
Oh, Tony D?
Yeah, he's going to pair him with Tony D.
You could do that also. I mean, shit, we know we need to have some tag team champions because, you know.
Believe it. You guys have both threw out two great ideas for Fabian Aichner, and I bet you none of them come true.
Hey, you never know. He might be with Imperium next week.
Fabian Aichner. And you're like, why? Why, Vince? He didn't want to change his name. What's his name? He's gonna be Mario the Coco.
I just like, to me, like I know why Fabian left, because, you know, Walter and Ludwig chose the wrong set. They became Bloods instead of Crips. They should have been on Raw with all that red on.
Oh, he heard the name. You're gonna go
back
back
to the Blue
again,
Show.
Excuse me, again, that was my joke. How dare you?
I didn't know. When was that your joke, Manny?
I made that joke at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, Manny, I did not know.
You commented on the post.
Oh shit, I did, didn't I? I can't see.
You are a plagiarist and a
Marcus.
message board.
Marcus,
Yeah.
I'm a fucking bot. Get it over with. And I'm a bot until my check clears. When that check don't stop clearing, then I'm not a bot anymore.
So, I think that we covered the week in wrestling somehow. I don't know how, but we did. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, Eric?
I like the new faction with Edge and Damian Priest. I thought Edge's jacket was really nice. It matches his shoes, and like Damian Priest.
Dark Order.
Huh?
I mean, I'm sorry, the House of Black. As Ryan said, Brody King can't talk about ripping off faction when his faction is technically ripping off the Dark Order.
I mean, like the thing.
I was like, yeah.
I just kind of feel like it's the one thing that holds AEW back is that they're always paying attention to what WWE is doing. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, why do you need to bring it to the attention? Like, did you really think that the AEW loyal fans was gonna side with you, Brody King, over fucking Edge? No, that's not gonna happen. Because that's fucking Edge.
There's a good proportion of people who still have no fucking clue who Brody King is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think it was a bad take on his point because they're not really doing anything mystical.
No,
they're Edge is wearing black now. He's wearing a black suit. That's really it.
That's it,
kind of. And then Priest was already wearing black, and they teamed up. And it's really it. They're not teleporting. They're not hanging around in smoke.
Okay, I can see some words. Levi said Edge has been looking awful lately. He's been looking bad since he came back. He's old now. Like, he didn't age well.
But old Edge works better in this gimmick than young Edge would ever have.
Can I say something? One thing that I'm disappointed about is like Damian Priest with him. If you had FTR, because you know they're friends in real life, I wouldn't mind seeing FTR associated with Edge and Damian Priest. That would have been like amazing.
That's a completely different stable though, because I don't think FTR could pull off that. FTR couldn't pull off that.
You need chains and whips. That's why I'm talking to you, Rhea Ripley. I'm talking to you.
Does she bring Liv Morgan, who decided to go into business for herself on SmackDown, which is still one of my favorite storylines? Oh, does Rhea know you're here? No, but like I'm here.
But she's a grown-ass woman. She can do what she wants.
I know, but apparently she can't.
You tell me you're gonna go fight Sasha Banks, and then you beat Sasha Banks. You tell me what's gonna happen.
Why they keep
Rhea
putting
her ass this week, and she is siding with Edge and them. Hopefully the next person is Tommaso Ciampa.
Naomi's got a case of Keith Lee, you know. She takes way too long to say what she has to say on that mic.
I don't understand why we get
and then
Naomi
Michael
on
Cole moves on so quickly.
Like I was like, why can't Sasha like do the microphone? Because I don't need. Naomi's just out there like she's a fool.
Naomi should stay off the microphone.
And Levi, I don't think WWE fans have become tribal. I think the whole entire world has become tribal because you have to pick a side. Ever since Trump was around, everybody has to be one-sided. It's not the case. I just think that Edge is Edge and Brody King is Brody King. He misspoke. He should never spoke on it. Simple as that.
And
you know the same thing. You know the same thing could be said exactly about AEW fans.
Yeah,
but
I was
so much tribalism between both camps. You can't just go it's one or the other.
And then when you're not in either tribe or you picked a clique or a side or whatever, if you're tweening, like most of the time I'm tweening in the middle of things or certain things. When you're tweening, as soon as you say one bad thing about the other, oh, you're on that side now? No, I just said I can criticize these people. Oh, you're on that side now? No, I can criticize them. None of these people are perfect. Tony Khan's on cocaine, Bishop Man senile, and Impact kind of doesn't exist. And MLW has people going taking business for themselves. Jesus Christ.
It's and then you have people in Impact getting people in NXT fired by posting pics that they were probably there taking the picture and said it was a good idea to dress up like Hitler. Talking about you, Kimberly. Just saying, you show one side, but you just show the other side. I'm not all about cancel culture. I'm just saying, yeah, you should never dress up like Hitler, but at the same time,
what is your take? Because I'm about to go into NXT 2.0. MSK has been stripped. I don't know if we are. I'm not the host of the show. I don't know why.
My take is that, you know what? Like, he did some bad shit, and I feel like the society now just feels like you got to counsel somebody. Maybe he needed some counseling. We don't know the circumstances.
I don't think he's being canceled.
He was fired.
He was fired, but it's kind of split the support for who you're supporting.
Yeah, I mean, because apparently Wesley's wife is supporting him, like saying that Kimberly. Like, I feel like it should have been more investigation.
That's also Wesley supporting too.
But I think the problem is that when I think about it, I just feel like I feel bad for Wesley in this situation because I don't know what happens to him going forward. I mean, maybe they should have signed Trey Miguel instead of Nash because, I mean, I think we could all say that we really didn't care too much for Nash Carter. I can also say that I'm not surprised that some of the pictures came out about him. I'm like, nothing about it says like, oh, that caught me off guard. Like, if it was the other way around, if it was Wesley dressed up like Hitler, first I would laugh, and I was like, no, you cannot do that. That's against the rule.
But what are you doing? How did you say so far that you dressed up as Hitler?
But I think WWE handled it the way that they had to handle it, being a publicly traded company, that you have to let him go. You can't have negativity affect your bottom line.
Well, it's the same reason the Briscoes can't get jobs in either WWE or AEW. It's because of their homophobic tweets from like a decade ago, whatever it was. So it's just the way the world is. I don't fault anybody in this because, one, I don't know these people. I don't know. Kimberly could be crazy. Yeah. She can just be crazy. And Nash Carter, he can also be crazy. And Wesley can be a piece of shit supporting all this craziness. But I don't know these people, and it's hard for any of us to judge on what the real case is.
Yeah, and so for me personally, where I work at, I've learned to wait for the evidence to be presented, and then I make a decision. But in this situation, I don't care. To me, it seems like this was a little bit of grand finales being Prince of Petty in this situation where something happened between Nash and Kimber got really upset. Maybe he did whoop her ass, and she decided, I'm going to ruin you today. And she did. She was successful. That's what she did.
I brought up on the show. Well, a lot of people say he wasn't released due to the abuse.
It was more of the Hitler thing.
Apparently, they didn't believe her. They didn't believe her. They didn't think she was credible.
Yeah. Which, I believe women never get the benefit of the doubt to be incredible in a lot of these situations.
That is also true, Marcus. I appreciate you being woke.
Try not to be, my brother. I try not to be, but
I
being
know that's
us, in the Blackpool Combat Club here, we stay woke. We stay woke in this community. I just feel like it's a situation in which WWE was going to release MSK anyway.
That is also true.
I do not like. I wasn't, again. I wasn't really a fan of the Rascals. I think they're okay tag team. I don't feel anything great, but I don't see them having a future in WWE anyway. They don't care. One, WWE does not care about tag team wrestling. They never have. They will create tag teams. They will have cool tag teams, but they have a limit to where they go, nah, we don't do it. And two, these guys are undersized. Mr. Man says, get them out. Like, I can see that being the case. Oh, yeah. Should we release this guy or not, Mr. Man? I don't really see a feature in this guy. Bow. Bye.
Do they end up
Idris and Dolphe and Malik Black, and no one would notice. No one would.
Malik Blade, Marcus. Malik Blade, you racist prick.
Malik Black.
It's Blade. It's
I feel like there's a Malik Black out there. I know, but there's a Malik Black somewhere.
But we're not talking about that Malik Black somewhere. We're talking about Malik Blade, Marcus. I'm just saying. No,
the
but like,
fastest man in wrestling.
I think we also agree that eventually Wesley will be released. Do you think somebody else will take a chance on the Radicals being put back together? Like, considering the history, Manny, I'll go to you with that.
What was the question?
Like, do you think that someone, once Wesley is released, because you know he will be eventually, do you think that someone will take a chance on doing the Radicals thing again with them, or do you think that tag team is done?
I think Impact might take the chance to do the Rascals again, but
yeah, but will he bring her back to be around Kimberly when clearly she's the one that ruined him?
Apparently, she hasn't been there since December.
Well, shit.
Better she's out of work, baby. Who knows? Who knows what's going on all this? None of us are flying the wall to be like, what's going on?
I mean, like, the thing about it is, like, you know how, like, people are mad that he's dressed like Hitler? I mean, if I dress up like Thomas Jefferson, will I get the same type of outrage?
No, because Thomas Jefferson is just Thomas Jefferson.
Marcus, that man was an awful human being.
Yeah, then everybody in the 1700s and before and after.
The 1700s.
Are horrible human beings. Horrible.
Shout out to that guy that was wearing that 1776 t-shirt in Vegas. Don't know what it meant, but I knew I was supposed to stay away from you.
Yeah, he had that blue streak.
Yeah, it's like,
everything was like, oh, you have a starter kit for racism.
Yeah, it's like you got the kit.
You subscribe to racism.
So Manny, you
pay
did say
$9.99 for your racism a month.
Manny, you just said there was an email, so I guess we should take care of that email before we finish up everything.
I'm gonna severely edit it because I can't read his little rhymes properly.
Manny, dude, what you got to do? I can't see. I can't see. I can see a little bit.
As good as you can, Manny.
No, because people comment when I do his rhymes, so I will not do his rhymes.
Come on. Don't be self-conscious, Manny. Don't let the people bully you. Don't let these bots, these trolls, these people be people on you. Don't let people be people on you.
Manny, I will need the audio for this show. Unfortunately, I can't do it my own because I wasn't here to hit the record button, just to let you know.
Create extra work for me.
I know, Manny. I know.
On
Saturday,
the day I don't have to do any work.
Manny, I understand, Manny, but Wes said talk your talk, Manny. Talk your talk.
Talk your talk, Manny.
All right.
You know, Trick never about to anything. He gave me talk your talk, and that's all I need in life.
So this email comes from the Dizman. He said, right off, I have actually cut off the first two lines. Right off the bat, I want to say to everyone that it's important to schedule and prioritize the most important things in your life. Why? Because if you overexert yourself, you won't get anything done. The reason I say this is because I planned on writing in sooner, but I was trying to plan a honeymoon cruise, work on my third book, help out at the church, that is too much things already, and I'm reading it. Try to bring back discussions with the Dizman and get details from my wife about the Marty Jannetty incident. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Why? Don't kill yourself. Especially, me coming off 12 hours of work, watching 2 hours of Rampage and SmackDown and all that, and then going back into work for a drawing night.
I mean,
kill ourselves, guys.
I mean, yesterday's night's sleep, last night's sleep was the best sleep I've had in the last 2 weeks. That WrestleMania stream killed me.
Yeah.
Man, you was man, it was hard. I mean, like, so I think you, if anybody else understands WWE philosophy of just showing replays, because it's fucking hard. You tired. If you had some, I mean, if Manny has some clips that he can of his opinions, like, yep, this is the same. Let me put this clip in right here. He would do it.
You put a video of Manny in the box right here, doing the watch along, and he's going like, I like that.
What we could do, we could put.
Yeah, when Mark, do you know what? When Marcus went, or when Wes left on the first two streams, I was just like, I'm too tired for this, and I realized like I can't bring anything if I'm by myself and I'm tired.
I saw pain in Manny's eyes when he had all those black men on that show. I felt so bad for you, man. I was like, damn, no one is letting Manny.
You make it sound like I just sat back and just watched the show for a change and just let what happened.
But you tried to, it was points that you were trying to talk, and either JK would cut you off, Jamal would cut you off, or mostly it was your own co-host, Marcus the Grand Finale. He's like, I gotta say this.
I talk. That's what I do. Everybody know that.
Talk your talk.
That's what, yeah, I talk my talk. So let's finish the email, Manny. Yeah, don't overexert yourself.
So he says, but now I have everything in order. I was able to write in this week. Now then, the reason I'm writing in is because I have a response to Eric's question, are we stuck in the past? Edition of The Shoot. I also have part 3 of the Marty Jannetty story, and like before, I have broken this email up into sections to make it easier for both you and his lordship. Well, currently Eric is temporarily blind.
I'm blind!
So I'm going to have to... Jesus, this email's so long! Now... Then let's get down to business because I'm writing my book.
The question is, would you want to save that part for a whole special clip later on? Because it's that long in your time. Because again, Manny, don't overexert yourself.
Manny, how about we do this? Because I know you guys are really big on the Marginette. You can read the Marginetti stories on the Untitled Manny Marcus show, and then you can just talk about his response to the question, are we stuck in the past?
Okay, that's even longer, but okay, here we go.
I can't see which one was worse. I don't know.
Eric, I'm scrolling like mad because I'm writing my books. I listen to a lot of podcasts and get a feel of what the audience wants. The thing is, it's not as complicated as people think. The problem is, it's not communicated properly. I think what you're doing here is, Dizman, when you get too many, when you listen to too many things of what wrestling audiences want, you end up messing up because everyone wants something different.
Yeah,
and like I think you can tell when you look at what goes on in our live chat, and then how we talk about wrestling and how we disagree with certain things of whether we liked it or we didn't. For instance, this man's on the rights hate for Wheeler Yuta.
Marcus hates him some Wheeler Yuta for no good reason.
Yeah. That's the one thing me and Trent can agree on, and I don't know why. It's just that I just think he doesn't look like a good wrestler. I don't know.
I think his tights suck.
His tights suck. His shoes suck. The way his facial expressions, I don't like. I don't know.
Then he says,
I've seen worse wrestlers than him, but I hate him more.
Marcus, maybe we need to do a shoot where you talk about why you hate Wheeler Yuta.
I put the list.
Wrestling fans want something new, but they want it the way they fell in love with it. It seems like once they decide they're going to push you, they stop allowing you to do what brought you to the dance. You got to change it up. At least that's the perception. Look at Keith Lee. Everywhere he went, he was limitless, but for some reason that wasn't good enough. He had to change into a Bearcat. There was no explanation. It's just changed, and that's it. Now you may say, well, he's still getting pushed, and you'd be right. But let's say you guys got a deal on the WWE network. We'd be all happy for you and tune in. But instead of getting the Sharpshooters, Eric the Hater, Lord Manny Hayes, and Marcus a grand finale, we get Eric Black, Manuel Lord, and the finisher, Mark Granderson. the boys, DA Boys with a Z Club. Okay, not bad. WWE owns everything, so they changed your name, and it's still the Sharpshooters we all know and love. Or is it?
I mean, I know both Manny and Marcus have no problem with selling out if they're going to pay them to do it. Marcus will become Marcus Granderson. The finale, Manny will become who he is. Then Sir Manny, like, I
Prince
mean,
Manish.
And I'll think about it. I might be like Trey McGill. I might take my ball and walk away. I'll take the money. What I'm talking about.
I already told you I sold out many years ago, anytime, any place. And I would understand people would be like, I don't want to watch this show because they done changed and sold out. And I would be like, I understand that. Just let you know, I am happy with my decision.
Let me be Bia at WrestleMania being backstage in the suit hosting, talking about I would do that in a second.
Waiting for them to release me. They'd be like, oh, we got the old Marcus back.
So he continues his words. We don't get the entertaining stories like Kane cancelling flights, or the fun nicknames like Thirst Trapper Jones, or fun events like Coupe Tuesday. We don't get Manny interacting with Levi or Marcus rants. Why is it just me interacting with Levi? Everyone interacts with Levi.
But
You always threaten Levi every week.
But Manny,
Levi, I'll block you. You treat him
Manny,
like a jab.
your interaction with Levi is usually very yeah, it ain't cordial. It's usually pretty violent.
I'll tell you what, Levi. I'll tell you what. You are literally Uncle Phil, and this is the fella. You gotta go, Jazz.
I'm not being funny though. I'm not being funny. You did agree that he deserved the timeout. The whole chat agreed that he deserved the timeout for what he was doing.
He was going hard against WrestleMania. He was going hard. There's one thing you can do. You go hard on anti-WrestleMania, on an actual good WrestleMania.
Or Eric's Venom. We get corny jokes that don't feel like they came from the heart because you guys are too smart for your own good. Which, by the way, is what Keith Lee was told by Vince McMahon. So they changed you guys inexplicably, mind you, but we still watch the new show because we want to support you. And every so often we get something that reminds us of the old days. But more and more, it's not the same until we realize it's not the Sharpshooters. So what do? We stop getting behind it and with the hope that things will change. But instead of working towards making it better and bringing back more elements of what we love and the company gets mad, I thought this was what you wanted and the way it was, but there's not behaving how we wanted. Well, you people don't know what you want. Technically, we do. You just don't give us what we wanted.
Arguably, I was pointing out because I know there's been a lot of Keith Lee references. I think Keith Lee's in a worse off position than he was when he was the Bearcat, just in my opinion. But shout out to his photographer that took the picture of him, Mia Yim. That is an awesome picture that's inspired by Beauty and the Beast. You should check it out on Mia Yim's Instagram. It was a really cool picture. Anyway,
sure Sheldon Benjamin gave it a thumbs down.
Salty. Sheldon is so salty. That's the one time he has personality.
That's my if you can give me that at WrestleMania, I don't care what the story is. It's Sheldon versus me and you.
No, I already want to see the stare off. I want to see that match. Kevin Owens versus Rhea Ripley. That stare down was serious.
That was serious.
Can we throw Veer in there also? Who did something that Manny's been wanting to have happen, beat up Rey Mysterio? I mean, shout out to Veer. You did what you needed to do.
What do you mean? I wanted Veer to beat up Rey Mysterio.
No, I said that's what I will say. Veer did the mission because we all agreed that just like how Sting is holding back Darby, Rey is holding back his son.
But we don't know what his son is capable of. That's the problem. We know what Darby is capable of.
Man, ain't nothing worse when you got messages on your phone you can't read shit.
Yeah, but here's the kicker about this WWE or whoever buying in, people changing everything they are. For in the WWE case, you know who they are. I don't understand why people act like WWE is brand new. They've been doing the same shit for, as they used to say, for over 50 years. But no, they've been doing this for about 20 years now, changing everything about things you love about people and scripting them and making them, to what you say. Oh, I hate that they went to this culture. This is what the WWE has done. This is who they are.
Why you got Ric Flair in the cage with Sable now?
I don't know why.
Oh, shit. I guess we know what happened to Flair. He's in Marcus' closet.
Woo! I really hope he ain't doing dick helicopters outside my window.
Sable, man. That's why she went.
Shout out for Sonny for going to jail again. But
no shout out to that bitch. I mean, she killed somebody.
I'm just saying, 3 people apparently.
Oh, it's 3 now.
Yeah, it was fatal. 3 people may have been killed. Yeah.
I thought it was only one that was a fatality.
Oh, maybe. Maybe I didn't read it right.
And they're
I
still
got the
waiting to
headline.
see, and we're still waiting to see if she was under the influence. More than likely, she
Probably.
was.
How can you
100%.
tell that many days after?
The blood.
Uh,
Yeah.
Stays in your system.
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
why you never submit to any test.
What was I saying? But we know who WWE is. They've been changing people for years. And the people that sign there think that they're going to change? Nah. They change you. They changed everybody. They want to change everybody's name. Unless you put it in the contract like Cody Rhodes and you get to keep all your nightmare shit and your blonde hair and your ugly tattoo, that is the only thing. That is the only thing that they haven't changed. They have been doing this forever.
I think the one thing that wrestling fans need to really do, and I think it's something that I think El Luchador said a couple of weeks ago. It's just that it's okay to realize that you've outgrown something. If WWE is not for you, walk away. If AEW is where it makes you enjoy the entertainment and stuff like that, great. Be happy there. And let's just all try to be happy. Find what makes you happy and go there. Go to your happy place.
I need to get back to this email because there are paragraphs left.
Oh, damn. I thought that was done.
No. Imagine if Marvel announced that Ryan Reynolds was going into the next MCU movie, but not as Deadpool, but as Nick Fury's attorney. People would be furious. You know what we would want, and you're messing with us. Another thing is there's not enough...
They care too much. They'll love it. They'll eat it up. They'll eat it up like... Yeah.
Marcus, stop. Let Manny finish the email.
Yeah.
Another thing is there is enough explanation or groundwork done to justify why certain people are pushed. Remember the Jinder Mahal experiment? I personally think that it could have worked if when he came back, he was winning and presented in a different light.
He's getting a title shot.
The problem was he went from loser to WWE champion and there was no explanation as to why all of a sudden he's a winner. This also ties in with why NXT 2.0 isn't really getting any love. It's full of new talent, but from a kayfabe standpoint, was what was wrong with the black and gold NXT.
Manny.
I understand that AEW. Let me just finish paragraph. I understand that AEW thing, but I couldn't have. But couldn't you have told a story as to why NXT got a new paint job and where all these new people were before?
Manny, tag me and I can finish it. I can finish the email. Well, there we go. So, because I made my eyesight is clearing up somewhat, and I just made it really big.
Can you see how long what I've had to read so far?
Yes, I saw that. So something else you brought up was old school guys getting cheered. The reason for that is because the old school guys are doing what we love. Despite being older, Stone Cold played the greatest hits, and people enjoyed it. If The Rock came back, he'll go through his catalog and entertain us. I actually think The Rock would come up with some different things, but that's just me.
No. He'd be The Rock.
Yeah,
Same shit.
hits.
Yeah, it's like he came back to John Cena. Same stick.
That is why Adam Cole is still doing what he did in NXT. That's why Samoa Joe is still doing what he's been doing, because it still works. But the thing is, and this is where I think there's a misunderstanding when people say they want new stars. What they really want is a new face of the company. All the companies do is push people, but it seems that they are only allowed to go so far. Samoa Joe has never been the face of a company. Adam Cole has never been the face of a company. Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, Big E, Bryan Danielson, the list goes on and on. You can come up with reasons why they probably make sense business-wise, but some of us don't care about that. What they were doing made us happy, and that if I'm willing to pay money for something that made me happy, why is that wrong? There is one more thing missing: heart. Basically, it feels like when they do push someone new, there's heart, isn't it? Take a look at Roman Reigns and how his championship run is presented. Now look at how Big E's championship run was presented. This isn't a race thing, but you can see a difference. You can hear it in the commentary. But most of all, you can also feel it when they're solidly behind someone versus when they're just doing it to be doing it. In closing, yes, wrestling fans do want something new, but I heard someone say that fans need their hand held to believe that this person who we're getting behind is going to amount to something. Otherwise, why invest my time? Anyway, Sharpies, I'm going to go, but you guys take care. Remember, when you make an effort to enjoy your life, you'll see your life from a new perspective. Later, guys.
Put that in the rainbow.
Oh, the font in the chat is still too small for me to read, but I just saw Eric and I can't see anything else.
It was that
So,
your hands were stealing the show while you were reading an email because you were conducting.
You know, normally
very
normally I have my camera more zoomed in than this, but I can't see shit. I don't even know if I'm in focus.
Well, I can see the side of your monitor, but I don't really care today.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. Let me just.
You do this while we're finished. We're
There
pretty
we go.
much finishing up, and you want
Well,
to.
you tell me now. You can see the
No,
closet where Macho Man Ashes. Nope, I'm not gonna say that.
Macho Man Ashes.
I'm not gonna say that.
Where the fuck were you going with that?
I don't know.
You
But
want
I
to
didn't
talk about? You
I
want to
don't
talk
want to be
about
Dash
Raw?
Carter.
The start of March, as I'm doing the best of, had CM Punk talking about, "Am I the bad guy?" And then me and Marcus run down the catalog of the bad stuff CM Punk has done, and then we questioned whether we would taste the ashes of Paul Bearer
See?
before throwing them. I said I would, and then Marcus said I missed a step because one thing would be you taste it and then you go, "Ooh."
Can we go? Can we go to El Luchador's comment where he says WWE took 7 years to figure out Roman, and all they had to do was let him be himself? I think it takes time to figure out anything. I think that's what's even going on with AEW. I think it's going to take time to figure out what their groove is, and I think the problem with AEW is that they keep bringing in new things that can change the narrative of what the groove is. The problem with creating Roman in 7 years is now that you don't have anybody for Roman to fight.
See what I did there,
And then El Luchador said at the end of the
They
day,
never
it's
gave me
Vince
the power.
company, and he can and does whatever the fuck he wants, and that is also true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could produce the show next weekend.
Who,
If you
me?
really want. Marcus has now got the power because he does ET.
Ooh, Marcus got the power.
Yeah, I got the power. He doesn't know he's muted. I got the power.
I did know I was muted. It gave me an alert that I was muted, son of a
It's
bitch.
getting kind of hectic. Oh.
Yeah, but I saw you rushing you Marcus. You decided over quality. You because you wanted to win a bet. You should never been rushing through ET. It was things that I wanted to hear and be talked about. But you rushed through it.
Most of it. I don't
You
know
rushed
how
through
much,
it, sir.
How much
You
more
rushed
detail
through
you
it.
want to go?
Yeah,
I want the show to be 20 minutes or less.
Now
week.
Now
it's a time trade. I got work. Okay, I shouldn't even be doing the show this long. All right, I should be doing a 3-mile bubble run at work right now, and I'm not. I could have missed work because of it. Instead, I got car drawing. I'm tired. All right, shoot.
We over here
Bills,
in Eric's
motherfucker,
house.
bills.
He's
Now,
got
every-
Man's ashes in the closet.
Is it the closet?
Ashes in the closet.
Damn, that would have been a great ending to the He Who Must Not Be Named Trapped in the Closet series. It's macho, it's ready, savage.
Ooh, yeah. On that note, I think that concludes this show because we have jumped off the rails and Marcus needs some sleep. So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Although I didn't open the episode, I don't even know what the thumbnail was or what the thumbnail discussion was.
I don't even know where it ended up. Oh, it was that. It was
that brings so much pain to my. Look how happy she was. She thought she was winning the match until someone told her, "Yeah, we're gonna give it to Red Velvet." Why? Because we have no other reason.
AEW. But again, Walter does look like that stepdaddy that hooked up with your mom that's walking around his house in those red underwear, and you can't do shit because he'll beat your ass, and no one's gonna stop him.
and Ludwig is his Carlton. I mean, no, his G.
That's his partner who's always over there, and no one knows why he sleeps on the couch.
His partner's always there to fix the problems that Walter caused. Oh, Levi. Really? If Roman showed up in AEW Dynamite, it would get a huge pop because everybody would be marking the fuck out because he has jumped ship.
That would be the same if Becky, Seth, Charlotte, Roman.
I would say Seth may be not.
I think Seth would.
Seth would get a decent one, but I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
I think Seth would.
Seth would.
I mean, because let me just be honest. Look at the response that Adam Cole got. And trust me, Roman is bigger than Adam Cole in many
Brian
ways.
Danielson would have got a big response, you know. They're
Look
back
at
at
that
the
time.
they're back at the same ratings. For them. I don't want to go into no weird long thing, but it's really shocking that they are at where they're at in their ratings, that they don't average a mil every week. Like
Because-
it's shocking, considering that they have a ridiculous amount of stars and a huge roster, and it's all about it's TK, aka the Booker of the Year, thinks his shit don't stink.
No,
And there's something that has to be done that can build the audience. I feel like
I don't think they cater enough to people, to first time viewers. I think you have to be in the know to know what's going on. Like someone that turns it on, you don't really get a good understanding of what the fuck is taking place. Like it's a balance.
And I agree with Levi on this one. I hate that this is continuing to go on, but he was like, it would get the same bump CM Punk. I agree. Roman go to AEW, he would get the same bump, and then all of a sudden, they're back to where they were at. And I don't understand why they go back. How does it fall back down all the time?
JK,
Like,
JK, I got his ashes in my closet also. Because did God call his favorite champ home? Where is Miro?
When did you all of a sudden start hoarding ashes?
If you play Elden Ring, you'll understand exactly what I mean. Why I have ashes on the
is that
brain.
what this is?
Yeah, because you can call ashes and they can help you fight in some battles, and you know.
Well, I'm going to end this show. I'm Marcus, the grand finale, and this has been Ashes to Ashes, Dust to Dust, the podcast.
What? Anyway, the podcast is over. My check is cleared. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next week, stay sharp, stay safe.
Is that the title of the show? The official podcast of the week? The podcast?
The podcast? I was going to
The
call it
bot-
bots, but I'll go with the podcast. I like that.
Yeah.
The blind podcast. There we go.
My puppy is blind.
My puppy's blind.
Bobby is blind. Peace.